Man, tech. All right, so don't mind me messing with stuff. I'm just trying to make it better. Just trying to make it better. Trying to make it better. All right, I am on. I'm live. Hi, how's everybody? Happy Valentine's Day. I really don't have anything red. I have a pink sweater, but it's really heavy and it's warm in here. So, yeah, that's not happening today. It's warm in here. I feel like my microphone's too high. Let me turn that down a little bit. How's everybody doing today? Um, I'm doing something a little different today. It's mindfulness, of course, because, I'm a mindfulness coach. Ooh, but it's about the differences between men and women and how they use mindfulness and NLP, neuro linguistic programming. And we haven't talked about this in a while, so I thought I'd bring it back and go over, stuff that I'm actually trained to do. Let's do that, right? Um, so, oh, sorry. I pushed my computer back away from me a little bit so you can see a little bit more of me instead of like from here up. You know, it's kind of odd. I don't have a desk. I have this really long table and it's just weird. The whole setup is weird, but I do the best I can with what I have. That's really all I can do. Um, right? Like I said, I'm still not at home. I'm at mom's. So it's a weird setup for me. But at my house, I have my desk and my desktop with the multiple monitors, and I have my whole setup. It's actually a studio, so it's different. Here, I'm kind of cobbing everything together, and I'm just doing the best I can. That's all I can do. So, so, uh, welcome, welcome, welcome. So whether you're watching live or catching the replay, I don't care as long as you're. Hi, Erica. Hi. So today, I'm doing mindfulness and how men and women react to mindfulness differently and neuro linguistic programming. Um, but first, I want to know did your package work out for you? Did it do what you needed it to do? I'm curious. I'm curious. I want to know. Happy Valentine's Day, by the way. How you feeling today? I have coffee. Oh, you haven't? Can I ask what it is? I'm curious. You said it, you hoped that it would fix a problem. So it kind of left me guessing, like, I was just curious. I'm a curious sort. Or you can just tell me to. No, it's just cold. I'm not even going to microwave it. I'll drink it cold. I'm used to it. I'm not even going to microwave it. I'll just drink it cold. It's almost like iced coffee now. If I threw an ice cube in it, it'd just be iced coffee. So it's fine. I don't mind. I don't mind at all. It's better than microwaving it. Ugh. I get it from my dad. I remember when my dad would come home from work after working like a 9-hour shift and then just pouring cold coffee out of the pot and drinking a cup of cold coffee. So I'm used to it. It doesn't bother me. And plus, when I was raising the kids and working all the time, who had the time for hot coffee? No, it really wasn't a thing. It wasn't a thing. And I feel like I was such a bad mom. My kids started drinking coffee when they were really, really young. It was like the beverage of the house. We probably went through 3, 4 pots of coffee a day. And it's funny because two of my kids now work at Starbucks. They're both managers. It's so funny. One's a regional manager, the other one's a shift manager. Yeah, that's my fault. It's so funny. Like, oops, that's my fault. Oh, let me see. Oh, my chat. Here. Oh, exterior door locks. You said it would fix a problem. That's worrisome. I hope you weren't having an issue with somebody. Being an ex-cop, now I'm concerned. Do I need to come? I can still kick ass, just so you know. I can. I have one good, really strong leg. I can. Just so you know, if you need me to, I'll be there. If I can drive. I hope you're not having an issue with somebody. I get very concerned about my people. I get invested. I don't know why my chat's not keeping up. Roll with it. Come on. Do what you're supposed to do. There we go. Stay over there. Honey, that's why I'm here. And if it's something I can help you with, I will. And you can give me the Cliff Note version if you want to. Or you don't have to tell me at all. It's completely up to you. But it is why I'm here. I help people. It's what I do. Like I said, I went from being a cop and a state investigator to a life coach. So I have experience in all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff. I could tell you some pretty shitty stuff. But no, if it's going to upset you, don't tell me. Don't. Don't worry about it. If you're taking care of it and you're handling the situation, then that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Absolutely. Are you drinking tea? Cocoa? What do you got going on? Oh, this thing is still not rolling. Come on, chat, roll. Do what you're supposed to do. Oh, man. Why is there always something? Oh, Commercialville. Always something. Always. Always. Well, like I said, today is going to be about mindfulness and NLP in relationships, and how men and women tend to use them differently. And even if you've never heard of these, we'll call them tools before, by the end of this stream, you'll have practical ways to start using them in your own life. Yeah, and now I know mindfulness and NLP can sound a little bit out there at first, but I first got into it. I used to think mindfulness was just meditation, and NLP was some weird mind control trick. Like it was like NLP, what? Like what? But once I started using them, I realized they are just tools to help us navigate emotions and stress, and even how we talk to ourselves, right? Because we do talk to ourselves, right? We all do. For example, I used to react emotionally in certain conversations. I tend to overreact. And I do it without realizing it sometimes. And once I started practicing mindfulness, I learned to pause and take a step back. And I kind of check in with myself before responding. And that one small change made a huge difference in how I communicate with people now. And that's what I want to share. So, and I think it's important. And it's a practical way to use these techniques. It's important. And you can use them in everyday life and not just in love relationships, every relationship, family, friends, coworkers. So, have you ever tried mindfulness before, Erica? Do you know what it is? Or NLP? I'm just curious. Do you know what neuro linguistic programming is? Man, this microphone picks up everything. Not really? Okay. Okay. So, let me. Oh, let's grab my notes here. So, women, us women, man, we are emotional beasts, aren't we? So, for women, um, relationships are more about emotional attunement, meaning, okay, see, my chat's not keeping up, so I have to keep scrolling it. You did? So you know kind of what that is, the neural thing? You did that in a study. So in college? Okay. So it's how you react to things, right? How we interpret what we see and hear, or what we think we see and hear, right? And that makes such a big difference because our interpretation isn't always correct, right? And that's a big thing. And mindfulness is staying present in the situation instead of reflecting on something that happened in the past and bringing that into the situation, or what could happen in the future and bringing that into the situation. It's staying present, and it makes a big difference. I used to again, I'm an emotional beast. I tended to overreact because I would bring the past into everything and I would get upset. You know, if my current husband, Tom, would say something and I would get upset, I would think of something that happened in a past relationship. And instead of concentrating on the here and now, you understand what I mean? And that's not fair. It's not fair to Tom, and it's not fair to our relationship. So that's mindfulness, is staying in the present. And one of the things you can do, and because we tend to be very emotionally expressive, right, as women, we do. It's just fact. We just do. Um, Especially in long term relationships. Right, right. We, and it's hard because it sticks with us. Instead of using our circles of control and letting things go. Have you ever listened to one of my Circle of Control live streams or podcasts? Do you know what the circles of control are? I hate that my chat isn't scrolling. Okay. Oh, excuse me. Here we go with my throat again. Do you have a piece of paper and a pen? It can be, I don't care if it's a scrap piece of paper. This is just a short little exercise about circles of control, and it will change. This will change the way you look at things. Trust me. This is huge. Okay, just in your head then, picture a bullseye with 3 circles. You have a small circle, a circle around that, and then a big circle around that. Okay? So you have 3 circles. You have a small circle, a medium circle, and a big circle. Okay? In that small circle, that's your circle of control. That small circle, you put in there things that you can actually control. That's things you say, things you physically do, like your actions, right? Like things you put in your body, things you eat, things you drink, stuff like that. Your feelings. You can control your feelings. So yeah, your emotions, what you put in your body, and what you say. Okay? The next circle, the medium-sized circle, that is your circle of influence. Okay? Now that circle, you put in there things you can influence, not that you can control. Now you can influence not how other people feel, but you can give them your opinion. You can give somebody advice. That's what I do. I influence people, right? That's what I do. But you cannot control somebody else's feelings, right? You can't control what's going on in your immediate family, but you can influence them. You can talk to them, right? You can influence, say something, if you have kids, something going on with your kids, if they ask for your advice, you can influence that, right? Or if you're sick and you meet with your doctors, you can influence what's going on with you with your treatment plan, right? You have influence there. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, the big circle, Erica. That's your circle of concern. These are things we're concerned about, but we have absolutely no control. These are things that have happened in our past, things that could happen in our future, things that happen around us, like politics, natural disasters, the weather, things other people say and do. We have absolutely no control over. No control over. Those are the things we have to let go. We have no control over them. Do you understand why this exercise is so important? Now, putting locks on your door, that's in your control, right? Obviously, something is going on where you need to take control of the situation. So you're putting locks on your door. Do you understand how that works? But you can't control the person on the other side of that door, can you? You did what you could do, and now you have to let it go. All you can do is control your actions. You cannot control that person on the other side of the door. You cannot control what happened in the past or what's going to happen in the future. You can control mindfulness, and that's in the here and now. Do you understand what I'm saying? Does that make sense to you? Okay. Did that help you at all? Some people they resist it because it's a different way of thinking. And I don't want to say especially men, but especially men. Because trust me, I had to work on Tom with this for a while. And then he kept throwing it back at me. He's like, it's not in your circle, babe. It's not in your circle, babe. Oh, I'm sorry, honey. I'm sorry. But you have it now. And you can use it in your everyday life. You can use it in everything. It's not, and this is what it's not in my circle. You need to concentrate on your circle of control. This is what I do. This is part of my life coaching. This is what I teach people. And it's important not only in your relationships, but in your relationship with yourself, for your peace of mind, for your self-interest, right? To keep your body and mind healthy. Because you control what you think. You control also what you put in your body. Well, I'm so happy to hear that. I am. But from now on, now you know what you can do as well. You know, if there's any future situations or just in your daily life. You know, when you get frustrated or stressed out about anything, you know, you just take a minute, step back, take a breath, you know, do the 1, 2, 3, 4 breathing. And if you need me to teach you how to do that, I can do that. It's a very simple mindfulness technique. Do your breathing technique, take a step back, and say, what is actually in my control? What can I control? And you let the rest go. And I always say, let it go on an exhale. That's my little mantra, is let it go on an exhale. When you're doing your breathing techniques, every time you just think of something that's not in your control, and when you take a deep breath in, you let it go on the exhale. That stressor or whatever it is, you just and let it go. It's not yours. So you just let it go. And it's work. Trust, and this is every day sometimes. It's work. But it's worth it. And it becomes a part of your routine of every day. And you'll see how happier you become and how easier things become. Because you're not stressed. And you feel better. Things don't stress you out as much anymore because you know how to handle it now. And you know how to handle future relationships when things get tense. You're not all, like you want to fight and argue. No, you take a step back, you assess the situation, and you use mindfulness. You know, and if you already know about NLP, then you know how that works. You know, that it's our interpretation of things. It's not always the right interpretation, it's just our initial thought. You just need to take a step back. And then always remember your circles. So I hope I helped a little bit. A little bit. But I'm glad your situation is somewhat resolved. Somewhat. Oh. I got another ad coming. This damn squirrel is in the window. I swear he looks in the window to see if I'm here before he tries to get in the bird feeder. It's crazy. Remember I was telling Tub, it's crazy here. It's like freaking Animal Farm. Oh. I took a picture earlier because I live on the river. So we didn't get all the snow that, well, I don't live on the river. I'm staying at my mom's because there's work that needs to be done on my house and I can't be there while it's happening. But I took a picture of this morning and this is what it looks like. So you can see the river and the snow and there's nothing around us, right? There's literally nothing around us. It is so peaceful out here. Just for anybody that even watches this later, this is where I am, in the middle of nowhere. In the middle of nowhere. I love it here. And we got a dusting of snow and they got 2 feet in the town that I live in. That's crazy. Oh, you know what, Erica? That's so true. And there's an ad. Thank you. It's literally out the sliding door. It's right here. It's right here. That's what I see every day. I love it here. I'm in the middle of I know, commercial. I'm in the middle of nowhere. And I love it. So I want to know, and I know you can't hear me right now. Let's see. I know, I hate it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, it's crazy. 30 seconds. 30 seconds left. It's crazy. I know. Oh, she's saying that they pick the longest commercials. I know they do, but they got to make money, right? They have to make money. I know. Oh. That's funny. It should be done now. I believe. Oh, this thing. It's way too close to me. There you go. All right.
So, do you remember much about NLP? Um, my instructor, he used to say the Jedi mind trick. Um, it's about the rewiring of how we respond to things, and it's the it's funny because I wrote this down because it's like the real life version of Obi-Wan Kenobi waving his hand and saying, "These aren't the droids you're looking for." So, except instead of controlling stormtroopers, you're learning how to control your stress, emotions, and your reactions. So, if you had a Jedi mind trick for staying calm, this would be it. That's how I was taught about NLP. He loved Star Wars. So that's how I was taught. Yeah. And men and women do it differently. It's they are not as emotional as we are. It's just the way it is, right? They use different parts of their brain than we do. Um, Now, men prefer structured and goal oriented practices. We know this. We know this. And they use mindfulness in physical ways. They do breath work, but it's in sports and focusing on body sensations. And then their NLP techniques are visualization, which appeal to them. We know this. And then they rehearse their outcomes in their head. They prepare, right? And then they resist emotional processing, but respond well to logical reframing. Instead of I failed, we try, I learned something that didn't work. A lot of them go, they do that head pounding, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, I failed. And instead of, it's just try again, right? That's what I try to impress onto my boys, instead of when, something didn't work out for them, it's just try again. But sometimes it's like talking to a wall. That's the difference between men and women. It's just the difference in the brain. They're just wired differently. Um, and a lot of, okay, yeah. Um, and then for women, my notes for us are a lot more complicated. Because we're so emotional. We are so emotional. Oh my God. I can't watch some commercials without crying. Especially like the SPCA commercials. Forget it. Forget it. Can't do it. Can't do it. Yeah, we tend to be more emotionally expressive. But long term relationships require managing emotions without overwhelming our partners. I get I get a lot of why are you crying? And I have to think about it. A lot of it is I don't know because I don't. I just cry. I don't know. I blame it on hormones. I don't know. Especially if we have a disagreement about something stupid. Stupid. I cry. I don't know why. Hormones. We've been together for 14 years. And this poor man is now in the midst of my menopause. I apologize constantly. I'm sorry. Hormones. I don't know what else to say. I know, right? Hormones. in the middle of the night when the fan is on high and it's 10 degrees outside and I'm sweating to death. And the poor man has on a full pajamas and a sweatshirt and a skull cap because he's freezing. I'm like, I'm sorry. Hormones. I'm sweating to death because hot flashes. I don't know what to tell you. And I'm crying. Oh, it's horrible. What are you going to do, right? I am sorry. Hormones. Oh, he only got about 10 more years of it. It's fine. Especially because of my lupus. I was premenopausal for the last 5-6 years. This poor man, I feel so bad. Well, he puts up with it. What's he gonna do? He goes fishing and hunting a lot. Sure does. Yep, sure does. Goes out and works in the garage a lot. That's funny. And I don't even argue with him about it. I'm like, just go. Just go. Oh, no. I don't even do we don't even spend time together anymore. I don't even pull that shit anymore. Nope. Oh, yeah, the man cave. And I feel so bad because I've only been in a wheelchair, oh God, a little over a year now. And so we had to move our bedroom from upstairs into the living room. So if he wants to watch something else on TV, he has to go back upstairs to our bedroom and sit in a chair. It's not even like a recliner, it's just a chair and watch TV. I'm like, I'm sorry. But most of the time, I don't care what he watches on TV because I'm reading. So, but oh my God, he has put up with so much from me. But he's a saint. My parents call him Saint Thomas. I'm telling you, the man's a saint. I'm blessed. I'm very, very blessed. Oh, so it's funny. And he, like I said, he listens to me when I talk about mindfulness and NLP and the circles, and he uses them back at me. So I know he's listening to what I tell him because he uses them. If I start complaining about something, he's like, Sarah, it's not in your circle. Let it go. And it's like, you're right. And you listen to me. Okay. What am I going to? I can't argue with that. Okay. You're right. I have to keep saying he's right all the time. Whatever. But he is. But I want to get back. So he is. I know. He doesn't block me out. And I've been in relationships where you just aren't heard. Yeah. Where you can tell that, they get that blank stare in their eyes and they're just not listening to a word you're saying. Yeah. I got lucky with this guy. Very, very lucky. Yeah. He takes care of me physically and emotionally. I got very lucky. 1 in a million. 1 in a million. Man. But it took some frogs before I found my prince. Let me tell you. It did. Man. It did. I've been married. Well, I've been widowed twice. And then I married 2 more times. I've been married 4 times. Yeah. Crazy. Crazy. But yeah, I think I finally found the man, the man. Oh, and I broke up with him in the beginning. I broke up with him because I still thought that Toby was the love of my life. In a way, he was, the father of my kids. And I just couldn't. I couldn't picture being with somebody. I think I was afraid Tom would make me happier than Toby did. Doesn't that sound ridiculous? I was afraid to be happy. Oh, guy, I hate guys like that. Yeah. He's just not listening to you. He's not listening. Or he didn't care what you were talking about, obviously. Oh, yeah, Tom's not like that at all. He'll listen and listen because I have ADHD. I I yeah, I know. It's crazy. The Black Widow here. It's crazy. I've had a life. I told you, Erica. I have had a life. I'm writing a book. I am. I started writing it. I just finished the introduction last night. But I keep telling my mom, um, a pair of eagles just flew by. I'm sorry, ADHD, but oh my God, a pair of eagles just flew by. Holy shit. Um, I told my mom it'll probably go in like the fantasy section because nobody's going to believe it. Nobody's going to believe it's true. But I'll submit it to a publisher and see what happens. It's going to take me a while to write because I have had a life. But I'm going to write it. I do have a lot to say. I do. It's been a crazy, crazy life. And I think if my family, like if my parents read it, they're going to be surprised because there's a lot that's happened in my life that they don't know about. And I have to put in there that it's not going to be a blame game or anything like that. It's just stuff happened. Stuff happened. And it just is what it is. But yeah, I have a lot to say. A lot to say that a lot of people don't know about. Yeah, definitely. Jesus. Definitely. Oh, I had a crazy, crazy life. It's still crazy. Still crazy. And my life keeps changing. I went through this depression just a few years ago. I was agoraphobic. It was bad. I wouldn't leave my house. I wouldn't see anybody for 2 years. I was so depressed. And you know what shook me literally out of my depression was when I fell and broke my leg and shattered my ankle. Because I didn't have a choice. I couldn't be depressed anymore because I was fighting to save my leg. They thought they would have to take my leg. Well, first they thought they would have to take my foot. And now I kind of wish they had because I would probably be walking. But I was fighting. And I was trying to stay healthy, and I kept flaring while I was in the hospital, and infections and kidney infections, and my kidneys were starting to shut down, and all this shit was going on. And I didn't have time to be depressed. So I literally had to get over it. And I know that just sounds insensitive, but I didn't have a choice. I did not have a choice. And that shook me out of my depression. And I was depressed. I didn't see anybody for 2 years, not even my kids. My daughter would come over and lay in bed with me. I didn't get out of bed. I got out of bed to go to the bathroom and take a shower, and that was it. That was it. The only time I left my house was to go to the doctor's. That was it. It was bad. I didn't see anybody. And I don't even know how it happened. I just started sinking, and then I was sunk. That was horrible. And now I look back at it as wasted time. But maybe I needed that to be who I am now. That's how I look at it. I needed that time to grow to be who I am now. Because I don't think I would be who I am now if I hadn't gone through that. And that'll all be in the book too. Later chapters, because a lot happened in my early life. So early being 18 to late 20s. A lot. And it's hard going through all these memories. And then you think you have it all down, and then it's like, oh, then that happened. And it's like, oh, going through it all over again. It's painful, but I think it'll be worth it. It's very, very painful. But I'm using a lot of mindfulness, I'll tell you that. A lot of mindfulness. Yeah. But it'll be good. It'll be good. I hope people read it. But I think a lot of I'm gonna get back to what my stream's supposed to be about. I always end up going off topic when people are in the chat. But we always think everything's about us when it comes to our partners. And it's usually not. Tom would come home upset, and I would think he's mad at me, and it had absolutely nothing to do with me. It'd be something that happened at work. And I'd be like, why are you mad at me? And he's like, babe, not everything's about you. I'd be like, well, why not? It should be. But no, it wasn't about me. But that's NLP, right? That's how we interpret things. He's upset. It must be about me. No, it had absolutely nothing to do with me. And we need to work on that, don't we? We do. As women, we need to realize that it's not all about us. They have other stuff going on, just like we do, especially when we have careers and kids and stuff going on. They need to realize that not everything is about them, too, right? It's life. Life is happening on the outside of our households. And it all intertwines. And sometimes it's hard for them to understand, too, that not everything is about them. And just as hard as it is for us to understand that not everything is about us. And it's hard. It is. But take that step back. Take that breath. Try to understand what's going on. And hopefully it doesn't end up in that fight. If you both take a step back and you take that breath, and you breathe the stuff away that you can't control, and you concentrate on the stuff you can control, that argument's not going to happen. A talk will happen. A conversation will happen. not an argument. And that's what you want. You want conversation. You don't want an argument. I don't mind a good debate every now and then. That's what I tell Tom. We could have a good debate. I don't want to argue. What is an argument going to get you? Frustrated? Pissed off? Don't want an argument. How about a good conversation? And every now and then a debate. Not arguing. It's a waste of time. It's not enjoyable. But a good debate? I'll take that every now and then. I took rhetoric. Trust me. I can argue with the best of them. And this is where I was talking about. So women often multitask, right? Emotionally, juggling relationships, responsibilities, and internal processing. Mindfulness helps slow down and appreciate the moment. So, be fully engaged when spending time with a partner. Put away distractions. Notice their expressions and truly listen. This is what I was talking about. Instead of worrying about tomorrow's to-do list during a conversation, mindfulness helps a woman focus on the warmth in her partner's voice and the connection they share. Don't think about anything else when you're having a conversation. Think about the conversation, right? Concentrate on what they're saying. Don't be distracted. Because then you miss out. And then later you're going to be like, what did you say? And then what happens? Well, you weren't listening to me. And then what happens? The argument. It's not worth it, right? If you do active listening to begin with, it won't happen. And here's the other thing. Okay, especially nowadays, right? Many women feel pressure to do it all. Okay? But the perfect partner, or try to be the perfect partner, right? Mother, career woman, and emotional support system, right? Mindfulness teaches self-compassion. This is what I was talking about before, Erica. Your relationship with yourself. You need to have one. Self-care is so important. You need to have a relationship with yourself. There's inner family connection. I don't know if you've ever heard of inner family connection. You have an inner child. You have a protector. These are all personalities that we have that live inside of us, you know, and they do come out in us. They're different sides of us that come out. And we need to take care of them emotionally. And that's self-compassion. So, and focusing on the present helps you focus on your relationship. And that's what's important if you want a long-term relationship that lasts. And this, like, I planned this for Valentine's Day, okay? Here's an example of something that I wanted to share. So instead of thinking, why doesn't he plan romantic dates like he used to? A mindful approach reframes it as, he expresses love differently now. How can I acknowledge and appreciate that? So, women naturally seek emotional safety in relationships. This is so true. That's what we look for. Safety, support, comfort, right? This is what we look for. NLP helps reframe communication patterns to avoid misunderstandings and deepen trust. It's easy to create unconscious limiting beliefs based on past relationships. This is where we bring the past into our present, and we need to not do that. NLP helps women shift their mindset from fear to confidence. When we're afraid that the past is going to repeat itself, we need to not think like that. Instead of love always fades over me, NLP shifts to love evolves and I can nurture its depth. So what that means is, instead of it never works out for me, or I'm not good at relationships, or I can never find the right man, along those lines. You guys know what I mean. It's just maybe not your time, or you're not finding the right man for you, or stop looking. Just stop looking. It'll happen when it's supposed to happen. Okay? Now, women, we often internalize emotions too. And this leads to resentment. We've seen it over and over and over again. NLP helps reshape communication so needs are expressed in a way that encourages understanding. This is where your I statements come in. That's so true, Erica. That's what I was saying. If you bring your past into your present, it just makes everything so much worse. Especially, well, this used to happen, or I'm used to this happening. You know how those statements, and I used to do it, or I'm used to this. You know what I mean? This has always happened to me before. You can't think that way, or it's going to keep happening. You don't want history to repeat itself. Who can change that? It's in your circle of control. You can't change what your partner is doing, but you can change what you're doing. It's a two-way street. And dwelling, oh, that's the worst thing. I did it for years, and it's the worst thing you can do. You talk about stress and weight and guilt. Oh. Dwelling, I think whoever invented that word, that causes so much pain. It's horrible. You need to let it go. Repeated patterns. Do you keep getting the same kind of people, Erica? I want to know where those eagles went. Oh. Do they expect it now? I'm just curious. You don't have to tell me. I'm just being my curious self. Yeah. That's what happens. Yeah. That usually happens to us that are too nice. We get taken advantage of, walked all over. Yeah. It's like at work when you're too good of a worker. Yeah. You get treated like crap, and the worst workers get treated well. Why is that? I don't understand. I wish I could turn my computer and you could see this huge red-headed woodpecker that's at the bird feeder. It's huge. Holy crap. Sorry to change the subject, but I just glanced over and holy shit. It's this big. It's as big as my head. Huh. I didn't close the curtains. That's my fault. ADHD just phew. But yeah, Erica, that does happen. We're too nice and people take advantage of it, and then we're left holding the bag, as they say, right? That's what happens. Yeah, and we end up paying for it. Literally. We end up paying for it. Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that. Do you ever remember the book, what was it? Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus? I was thinking about it the other day when I was doing notes. I'm like, I wish I had it because it would be so good for this podcast today that I'm going to do later for Spotify. Oh, it's such a good reference. Yep, Dr. John Gray. That was such a good book. It's such a good book. It is. I read it years ago. So men are from Mars. They process emotions eternally and show love through action, which is true. And women are from Venus. They process emotions externally and need verbal reassurance. So true. Like, how often do we need to be told I love you? Constantly, right? Constantly. Yeah. Yep. It's such a good book. So men feel loved when they are trusted and appreciated, not necessarily through verbal affection. They retreat into silence when overwhelmed rather than talking it out. Oh, that's so true. So true. Men go into their cave when stressed. They need space before they can reconnect emotionally. Oh. Women are more emotional and verbally expressive. They have higher oxytocin, making them seek connection and reassurance. They use words and quality time to feel close. Women feel loved when they are emotionally, connected and heard. Oh, they overthink silence. Oh, assuming their partner is upset or uninterested. Oh, silence. Oh, it's the worst. Silence to me is the worst. Say something, even if it's something negative. Just say something. Oh my God. Oh, women bond through words and emotional sharing. If a man withdraws, she may feel rejected, even if he's just processing stress. If men are from Mars, women are from Venus, and John Gray describes a common relationship dynamic. This is good. A woman feels disconnected. She reaches out for emotional reassurance. the man feels overwhelmed, he withdraws to process emotions alone. The woman interprets this as rejection. She pursues harder, demanding answers. The man withdraws even more. He sees this as pressure instead of connection. Is that hitting the nail on the head or what? Oh my God. The result of this, both partners feel unseen and misunderstood. So, a mindfulness strategy for this: women, give him space to process emotions instead of demanding immediate conversation. And men, reassure her with small verbal affirmations instead of total silence. Simple, right? Simple things you can do. But do we do them? Most of the time we don't. We need to start. Simple mindfulness techniques. So simple. Oh. Have you ever heard of the book, The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman? Such a good book. I have it. It's such a good book. Oh. So, we have, what books have we gone over? Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, and The 5 Love Languages. It is such a good book, right? So, I have 2 love languages, physical and acts of service. Tom's are acts of service. Yes, it has other books that go with it. Yeah, I have all the books. I have all the books. So good. Tom and I, so we first got these books a couple years ago. He would read to me every Sunday night at 7:30. We would read these books. Oh, so good. So good. We felt we were kind of growing apart, and he would read to me because we were trying to, we didn't want to grow apart. We wanted to be closer together. And yeah, my big burly man, that looks like freaking Grizzly Adams, would read these books to me. Isn't that crazy? Huh. Yeah. It's crazy. So good. So in this, I put common mismatches. So it's, she craves word of affirmation, but he shows love through acts of service. He expresses love through physical touch, but she values deep conversation. And the NLP strategy is, instead of assuming your partner doesn't care, recognize that they love differently. So here's an exercise. Each partner writes down 3 small ways they feel most loved, and then just share them with each other. Just share them with each other. It takes a minute. It takes a minute. Grab a piece of paper and a pen and do it. And here's another thing. Couples often keep mental tallies. You score keep of past wrongs or unmet needs. Don't do this. Don't do this. I always plan dates and he never does. Do you see what I'm doing? I take care of everything at home and she never notices. Mindfulness shift here. Instead of focusing on who's doing more, shift focus to how you're growing together. Do these things together. Or appreciate what the other is doing. All you have to do is say thank you. Common courtesy goes a long way. And now, mindfulness again. Because mindfulness comes into play at any time, anywhere. So, the number one reason love fades is lack of presence. Eye contact. This is huge. This is big. Hold your partner's gaze for 60 seconds. Once a day. Be present in the moment. All you have to do is look at them. Hold their hand. Look at them. Spend 5 minutes each day together without distractions. And what does that mean? No phone. Put it down. Talk. Hold hands. Look at each other. Remember why you're together in the first place. You love each other, right? Why? Talk about the old times. 5 minutes. What are you going to miss in 5 minutes? Now, we need to rewire also negative communication patterns. Instead of saying, you never help around the house, say this: I feel overwhelmed and would love your support. Instead of saying, why don't you ever plan dates, say, I miss spending time together. Let's plan something fun. So instead of you, it's let's. Together. You're doing something together, right? Instead of the blame game, say let's. Let's. It's an action word. Let's do something together. So here's the NLP insight. The brain resists negativity but responds well to requests framed positively. So again, let's do this. Let's. Instead of you. Do you understand where I'm coming from? Don't be accusatory. So here is a good exercise. Instead of complaining, try a positive request. Instead of accusing, you don't do this. Try a positive request instead. Just one positive request. It doesn't mean make a honey-do list. Okay? That's not what I'm saying. Okay, now, this is a big one because, especially in long-term relationships, right? Sometimes the intimacy goes to the wayside. We all know this. Now, small moments keep love alive. Long-term love isn't built on grand gestures. It's the small moments. And I tell Tom all the time, it's the little things. It's the little things, right? Morning gratitude. Share one thing you appreciate about your partner every morning. Just one thing. I love this about you. I love that. That's it. Just a random sentence. What do you think you'll get out of that? I get a smile every time and a little chuckle. Do you know how that makes me feel? Fantastic. It makes me feel great. It really does. And a nighttime check-in. What's one thing that made you happy today? Just one thing. And it doesn't even have to be about me. It's just something made him happy. And I'm happy about that. You know? Men need reminders that small acts of love matter. Again, when I tell Tom, it's the little things. It doesn't take much to make me happy. It's the little things. Women thrive on consistent, heartfelt connection. And it's true. We do. Do you know how much I love it? Before I was in a wheelchair and we'd be walking into the store, we'd be in the parking lot, and Tom would just grab my hand. Ah, that connection, right? The comfort of connection. Like he's saying she's mine. It's not jealousy or anything like that. It's just mine. Mine, mine, mine. Like the seagulls. Mine, mine. I have grandkids. I watch cartoons. So instead of buying expensive gifts, leave a handwritten note expressing appreciation. Aha. So we have a whiteboard on the fridge. And I get up in the middle of the night a lot. Night sweats. I need water. On the whiteboard, I would leave a heart and say, I love you, babe. Have a good day. Because he gets up at the crack of ass to go to work in the morning. And he would see it, and then he would erase it. And then he would put, I love you, babe. I hope you have a good day too. It's just to get up and to get my cup of coffee and to see that, it makes your day, right? It makes your day. And how long does that take? 10 seconds? 10 seconds. But it's so sweet, right? Every morning, just leave a tiny little note on the whiteboard. That's all. It's just in a corner. You know, there's a grocery list, and then in the corner, have a great day, babe. I love you. That's it. I love it. I do it for him, and he erases it, and he does it back for me. That's it. So, and again, it's the little things, you know. So for men, express love through words, not just actions. Stay present in conversations, even if emotions feel overwhelming. Recognize that when a woman asks, do you love me? She's seeking reassurance, not doubting you. That's a big one because it happens a lot. We are insecure, aren't we? We get very insecure, especially when we don't feel good about ourselves. And we all go through that. We don't feel good about ourselves. Well, maybe they don't feel good about us either. Do you love me? Do you still love me? That puts them off a little bit, doesn't it? So what do you want their response to be? Of course I love you. Of course we don't want to hear that, you know? But it's what they're going to say because it's an immediate response. You know? But we're seeking reassurance. We're not doubting their love. We're doubting ourselves because we go through those little phases sometimes. It's just our brains. It's just the way we are. We self-doubt a lot. We're female. It's what happens. So, for women, give your partner space when he needs it. He'll come back. They just need to think with those big stubborn brains sometimes. That's all. Express emotions as requests, not criticisms. Sometimes their NLP brains aren't working right, are they? And they see everything as being put down and criticized. And we just need to reword things so they don't feel like they're being put down. That's all. And understand that silence doesn't mean disinterest. Men process emotions differently. Sometimes they're just thinking. And it takes them some time. That's all. It's not about you. It's about them. Remember, not everything is about us. Believe it or not. I know. Hard to believe sometimes. But so I came up with a breath cue for because I do a lot of breathing techniques. All right, honey. All right. Um trying to get some like someone thrown out because you said some thrown out. I'm going to guess someone thrown out. Good luck. I'm here if you need me. You can always throw me a whisper. I'll get back with you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Oh, stuff. Oh, good. I'm like, someone? Okay. I don't know. Whew, thank you for clarifying. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate it. I'm almost done. I'm wrapping up. But I have a breath cue that I wanted to share. So it's inhale love and exhale judgment. Right? Open your heart to deeper understanding. So inhale love and exhale judgment. Very simple. Very, very simple. We don't have to think the same way to love each other deeply, right? We don't. True connection comes from understanding patience and choosing love every day. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. There are different love languages. We are not the same, but we love each other deeply. We just have to remember that we're different. And we need to respect those differences. Respect goes a long way, as does common courtesy. It's easy to be resentful and to bring your past into your present. But it's not healthy. It's not physically healthy. It's not mentally healthy. And it's not fair. It's not fair to your partner. So I hope you guys have learned some things. I hope you enjoyed what I had to say. And I'll see you guys next time. I have to go do my Spotify podcast. If you want to catch me on Spotify, it's True North Life Coaching with Sarah. Yeah, I've been on there for a bit now. And I'll probably be back tomorrow. I might do another book club. We'll see. All right, can you hear the ducks? The ducks are going nuts. It's crazy here. It's Animal Farm, I swear to God. But I don't know. All right, guys. I'll see you later. Have a great Valentine's Day. Eat the chocolate. Accept the flowers. All right. Go to dinner. Do something fun. Okay? All right, guys. I love you all. Have a great, great day.